All right, good morning, church.
Good morning. Good morning.
So as Pastor said, Agnes and I were your representative to the annual conference. For those who are not familiar with our global UMC connection, I made this, I don't know, a few years ago. See, unlike, say, the Roman Catholic Church, where the governing body is centralized at the Vatican, the United Methodist Church practices democracy. So that's why us, we are represented to the annual conference. So this is our church right here. These are committees and church council. And we have, when I made this, we only have one representative. But since our church grew, thanks to Pastor Nelson, and we have qualified to have 2 votes now. So that's why Agnes and I were there. And on the annual conference, this is where we attended last June. And our annual conference is under the umbrella of the Western jurisdiction. So our annual conference, okay, let me go back. We are from the, on a district level, we are the district right here, we're the West District. So anyway, everybody knows, probably everyone are aware of the divide in the church with regards to the human sexuality. And that's what I gotta talk about, because that's what was the major topic at the annual conference that happened. Okay. Our annual, we are in the Western jurisdiction umbrella, and what it represents is mostly coastal area, including all the way back to Colorado. The membership is composed of majority progressive that supports the LGBT community. I've been with this church for 31 years, and I'm confident to say that this church is a microcosm representation of the Western jurisdiction, maybe even the whole United States, which is 2/3 progressive and 1/3 conservative or traditional. In 2016, Karen Olivito was voted bishop of the Rocky Mountain Annual Conference. And when I say voted,
He was elected.
he was elected.
She
Okay.
was elected.
She was elected. During the election, who elected him? Is it both the clergy and the lady?
Yes, of the Western jurisdiction. Yes.
Oh, okay. So as I say, we do it democratically. So we have an equal number of the clergy, and then we have an equal number of the lady. And as the lady, me and Agnes, that's our lady representative to the annual conference. So he was voted on 2016. Somebody in I think South Central jurisdiction lodged a complaint because Karen Olivito is an openly lesbian clergy. So in the book of discipline, it violates an item, which is it prohibits the ordination of clergy when they are openly about homosexual. So So that was, so from then 2016, that's when the turmoil happened in the global church. So 2016 was the last, the general conference. That's where, okay, general conference is where we make all the rules, you know, the changes in the book of discipline. 2016 was the last one, and the next one's supposed to be 2020. But because of that controversy, there was a special call general conference in 2019, last February, to try to resolve this matter. Remember, we had a one church plan, which the plan was to include everyone, eliminate that language which says the prohibition of the sort about you know, homosexual ordination. They want to eliminate that, so to have inclusion. But then the traditional plan, we want to enforce whatever it is in the book of discipline. And they have a vote. And the traditional plan won over the one church plan, 53% over 47%. So, let me get my phone right here. So this year's annual conference is mostly about what transpired during the special call general conference in February. Okay. One of the resolutions that got passed in this annual conference was the resolution of non-compliance to the ruling in the special call general conference last February. As a matter of fact, all of the United States annual conferences passed the same non-compliant resolution, except one in Alaska and one in Texas. So, majority right here is progressive, but then we have this central conferences from Asia and Africa, in Europe. So, they voted on this issue, and the traditional plan won. But then the annual conferences and the Western jurisdiction voted to not comply. So that's what we are. I'm going to play a video to highlight some of the consequences of this ruling.
All right, we're going to turn directly to Reverend Denise Barnes on an update on the special call session, and want to have you welcome Denise. She's 1/4 staff time in this new area of coordinating our LGBTQI concerns and issues. And we also want to thank Hollywood United Methodist for making this possible for Denise coming on the conference. Denise, let's give her a hand.
Good morning, CAL-PAC Annual Conference. It's a pleasure to be talking with you today. And in my new role as the Advocacy Coordinator for the LGBTQIA+ community, I've been in conversation with many people across our conference. And it came to light through these conversations and also the experience of others that we are not all in the same place in terms of understanding what happened at the Special Court General Conference in February and the subsequent rulings made by the Judicial Council in April. So in order that we all have a clear and full picture of the results of these events, I'm going to attempt to explain as succinctly as possible where we are registration, you were given a handout. It's too complicated to put it on the screens, and our tellers do have copies if you did not receive a copy of this, which explains the legislation. I also want you to know that we are going to make translations if possible, probably as soon as next week, in as many languages as we can get, and I intend to include British English in that translation set. So the first thing I want to highlight to you is the timeline for this new legislation. In general, when legislation before a general conference is approved, it goes into effect on January 1st of the following year. So most of these new changes will become effective as of January 1, 2020. For the central conferences outside the US, however, this is different. They have additional time because they are allowed to adapt and change the book of discipline to fit their context. So for them, the implementation of the approved legislation will happen in May of 2021. Now onto the legislation itself. Firstly, the traditional plan, which was passed at General Conference and then checked for constitutionality by Judicial Council, has resulted in the following changes. And please note I'm using the language as it is in the legislation and not my own. Item number 1, the footnote, which describes what a self-avowed practicing homosexual is, has now been amended to include anyone living in a same-sex marriage, domestic partnership, or civil union, or to include a person who publicly states that they are a practicing homosexual. Number 2, bishops are now prohibited from consecrating, commissioning, or ordaining those who are self-avowed homosexuals. The key point here is that the word practicing was left out of this legislation and not amended, so it expands in definition to also include those who are celibate. The mandatory minimum penalties for clergy who have been convicted of conducting same-sex weddings or celebrations of homosexual unions have been extended to now be a suspension of a year without pay for the first offence, and termination of conference membership and revocation of credentials for a second offence. This is now the only mandatory penalty in the book of discipline. Number 4, the DCOM and BOOM may not recommend for commissioning or ordination anyone who does not meet the required credentials, including those who meet the definition of self-avowed practicing homosexuals, and the bishop should rule these candidates out of order. Point 5, the bishop cannot now dismiss a complaint regarding violations unless it has no basis in law or fact. Number 6, one of the results of a complaint or charge is a just resolution. Just resolutions now are required to name all identified harms and how they will be addressed. And lastly, number 7, another result of a complaint or a charge is that churches are now allowed to appeal the complaint to the Committee on Appeals or to the Judicial Council. Next, we're going to move on to the disaffiliation plan, which was approved. Should a local church want to disaffiliate over matters of human sexuality, there is now a process that can be used between the dates of February 27th, 2019 and December 31st, 2023. The disaffiliation requires a 2/3 majority vote of professing members present at the church conference. Terms of the disaffiliation will be negotiated with the conference board of trustees and the advice of the cabinet and other conference officers. The standard terms which are defined by this legislation will include the ability to leave with property, with the exiting church paying for the legal and transfer fees, any unpaid apportionments for the previous 12 months, plus an additional 12 months of apportionments, its share of unfunded pension liabilities, and payment or assumption of all debts, loans, and liabilities prior to departure. The annual conference also has to approve such an exit by a simple majority. Finally, the Westpac pension and CRISP liabilities legislation provide guidance for churches wishing to disaffiliate, or if a clergy member ends their relationship with the conference. The local church which leads is required to pay their share of unfunded pension liabilities. Clergy who leave will have their benefits converted to the actuarial equivalent balance, and this may continue to be invested in a personal account through Westcott. An amendment was added to this which notes that there is currently nothing to stop the annual conference from collecting any other obligations from exiting churches. Over the next few days here at conference, there will be a few opportunities to discuss these changes in small groups and in plenary. We want to make sure that everyone has a voice and an opportunity to be heard. During the legislative sections this afternoon, we have set aside conversation time after the business has been completed. These conversations will be facilitated by the listening post team and by our current delegation team. On Friday, we will be using devices to vote for our new general and jurisdictional delegates. Throughout the day, we will also be using these devices to take straw polls.
So as you can see, those are the rulings, which explains why the non-compliant resolutions that have been passed by our annual conference and the rest of the United States annual conferences, except one in Alaska and one in Texas. As I said, we do it democratically. So our just in our annual conferences, I said again, this church is a microcosm of the annual conference representation, which is 2/3 progressive, which supports LGBT, and 1/3 traditionalists, which is said homosexuality is a sin. But then progressive will say, if you follow the teachings of Jesus, it's inclusion for everyone. You know, Jesus was a Jew, and in the Jewish tradition, only the Jews are the chosen people, but he includes everyone. That's why we have Christianity, because of the inclusive teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ. So, but anyway, in closing, just to give you a picture on how the democratic process works. So, okay, when we do all these resolutions and voting or voting of delegates to the general conference, we do it by vote. So, since our annual conference is majority progressive, the representation is always going to be progressive, because when you do the votation, the election, it requires 50%.
2/3.
No, 50% it has to be just over 50% to get elected as a delegate. And when you're only 1/3, you'll never get there. So that's how it is. So it's always gonna be progressive, no matter what the ruling of the general conference. So that's where we are right now. We are in a known territory. We might split. The last changes in the United Methodist Church was in 1968. It used to call just the Methodist Church. Now it's United Methodist Church. So we are in a crossroad. There's a forward for us to take. So that's what we are. I'm gonna make more reports as because of time constraint. Thank you so much.